We are back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. So, allegedly, Cardi B might have to give off the cheat $10 million. And that is the reason why Cardi B went on stage calling her baby daddy, not Stefan Diddy, a B word. So, as you can hear, she was performing bongos, and Parson Fontaine's pre-written lyrics that he gave to Cardi B, the lyrics are, "My BD is amigo," right? She said, "My BD is a bitch," right? Reason being is because the divorce is not finalized just yet. It could be finalized soon, but she will have to cough up some cornerization for off the cheat. He does want at least $10 to $20 million from the divorce, and Cardi B's going on tour currently. So, they say that allegedly she's making $90 million on this tour. I can see her giving him $10 million from the tour. I don't think that's a big deal. Doesn't she have a hair care line coming out? I'm sure she'll make at least $10 million from the hair care line. And in my opinion, I think that Off the Cheat probably would have already signed the divorce papers if Cardi B didn't get knocked up by Stefan Diddy. Once she did that, I think, Off the Cheat is purposely holding up the divorce and trying to find any way to get a coin from Cardi B because he probably feels some type of way. He might be a little bit bitter that she had another baby with another man while she was still married. Okay? So it's about to get messy. But not only that, fans are saying that Cardi B's recent face in New York looks slightly different. A lot of people think she has lost weight in her face and in her body because of the tour. Compared to her other faces, and let's bring up the face collage, I do see a slight difference. I do see something that's different. Okay, I don't know what it is, but that face don't look like the other faces here. It don't look like May, or definitely not November's face or December's. Something is different. Maybe she did lose weight. Maybe she got her nose done again. She looks slightly different. The wig is not given. People are saying that's her natural hair. It looks terrible though with the headband. It doesn't look good. No shade. But let me know how y'all feel about it. I think in regards to Cardi B, her face is ever evolving. Unfortunately, I don't think that it will make people think she has the best face card in the game. Okay? I think that she wants to be pretty, but is not giving that. Now, moving on from that, a lot of people were accusing Megan of not really being Cheetah Panties, aka Scratch Off's friend, and that there's some alleged beef. Now, a fan said Megan, who's the horse, silence on the cheetah, who is Scratch Off's baby announcement, let me know that friendship is a chop. Now, I guess people are saying that because Cardi B publicly has congratulated Scratch Off. I think also JT said something as well. She did have a lot of supporters in the comment. A Megan Thee Stallion fan said, "Did Megan get Scratch Off pregnant or something? Why would she have to say anything, especially when the nigga that got her pregnant hasn't said anything?" The F, which is true. I kind of agree with the hotties on this one. I don't think Megan has to say anything publicly because she did not get Scratch Off pregnant. And like I said before, a lot of these girls are not really friends. They're industry friends, or they're just cool or cordial. And I know Scratch Off and Megan have worked together, but I don't really think that they're besties like that. I think that they're cool, cordial, industry friends, but I don't think Scratch Off is calling Megan Thee Stallion and just chit-chatting unless it's about Nicki Minaj, okay? If it ain't about Nicki, they ain't got nothing to talk about. Now, there has been some speculation that Camel Face is using bots when it comes to his 2 shows at the Yankee Stadium, which is about to sell out. A fan said those are absolutely not people in the queue. They are bots via Ticketmaster, and they do this to resell tickets higher. Interesting. Now, Ticketmaster and I think Live Nation already are in a lawsuit, okay, for all the fees that they give to fans, and how they being investigated for taking advantage of fans when it comes to not just ticket prices, but also the fees. And so some fans were speculating that, the 800,000 to 500,000 people in the queue are mostly bots. Let me know if you guys believe that. Now Desiree's daughter, Dee Moore, said, "Oh, the distraction, headlines and announcements. How convenient. I thought being retired means you have no necessity to return to work." So that's what Desiree Perez' daughter said on X, which is very interesting. It seemed like she sneak dissing Camel Face's stadium shows. It's about to get uglier than Ken Barbie up in here. Wow. Now, speaking of the Carters, if things couldn't get worse for the Carter family, Juelz Smith, Solange's son, humiliates Beyonce and Solange. He was seen having Tommy Lee from Love and Hip Hop and Baddies kissing her and strolling the streets. And she is older than Solange, his own mama. Now, in hindsight, his mama did have him at 17. But Solange is currently 39, and Tommy Lee is 41. She's only a few years younger than Beyonce. And with that being said, a lot of people feel like she is being a predator, or she is trying to groom Juelz, even though he's of age. A lot of people feel like this is a bad look for the Carters, and that Tommy Lee is using Juelz Smith. In my opinion, I think she probably just want to get free tickets to see Jay-Z. That's what I think this is all about. I think she's just trying to get close to the Carters. I don't think she has any interest in Juelz Smith. I think she wants his connections, and that is Camel Face and Beyonce. I don't even think she cares about Solange. But I think that a lot of older women try to get with Juelz to get connections to the Carters, and that is Camel Face and Beyonce. But I'm thinking, why can't he get somebody his own age to use him? Why is it always the older woman using him? Okay, I feel like he need to get somebody his own age, and they need to keep him off the streets. He's always getting in trouble. Wasn't him and Sky Jackson going back and forth? Didn't he release some text messages or some pictures of Sky Jackson? He's a little bit of a troublemaker. I think Beyonce got to watch out for him, because he's going to ruin the family name and brand. And allegedly, Beyonce, she's not happy with some of the stunts that Juelz Smith has already done. He flaked on, I think it was the gay community event that he was supposed to be doing. He was supposed to be doing an interview, and he flaked on that. A few years ago, he had a thing with Sky Jackson. That went public. The Carters don't like bad press, so Beyonce's already frustrated with him. Now, J. Cole did an interview with Cameron, because Cameron sued his ass for not paying for a verse that he did on one of J. Cole's projects. In exchange for the verse, J. Cole was either supposed to do a verse for Cameron or come on his podcast. He realized that he didn't have the coin, so he had to go on the podcast, because I think he was suing for like $500,000 or $1 million. And I think J. Cole got that money, but I don't think he wants to give it to Cameron. Okay? So with that being said, J. Cole said he found it disgusting how people try to tear down Champagne Thickums while also being proud of Kendrick Lamar and the moment he had. He said the world became like politics. You either a Democrat or Republican, you either Kendrick or you Drake. Now, is he trying to say that Kendrick is a Democrat and Champagne Thickums is a Republican? I found that interesting. He used that analogy. So that's some tea behind that. I don't feel like he said that on accident. I feel like he was trying to tell us something subliminally. He also said I was disgusted both ways, damn near. How people try to use the opportunity to show how they really felt about Drake the whole time just to pile on and tear this dude down and create a narrative as if he's not great. It was a whole campaign. He also said that he, hasn't really spoken to Kendrick or Champagne Thickums, as of recently, but he does want to speak to them, but he hasn't. And here's the problem with J. Cole. I think he plays too much of straddling the fence. You got to pick a side. And you got to stay there. And I think that's why Kendrick and Champagne Thickums don't really fuck with him like that. Because you're still, like, trying to be neutral. And unfortunately, you can't. Is either you pick a side and you stay there. The neutral game doesn't work in hip-hop. It just doesn't. When it comes to Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, people have to pick a side. You're going to have to pick a side when it comes to Drake and Kendrick Lamar. And the reason being is because people that always play the middle, a lot of people don't trust people like that. If you're always the neutral or middle guy, or I don't want to have issues with everybody, and you want to people please, then people are not going to fuck with you because they feel like you're not loyal. Okay, it seems as though you're not really loyal to Champagne Thickums because, you did hop on Metro's album, and Metro and Future were dissing, Drake. You hopped on the album right after they dissed Drake. So it's like you don't really have any loyalty. I think you just don't want any backlash because you're a people pleaser. Okay, so that's why nobody's going to really fuck with you if you continue to do that. You got to pick a side. And I understand you probably don't want Kendrick or Drake to be mad at you, but you got to give your honest stance and move on. Okay, because you already bowed out of the beef. So you already getting clowned. So it don't really matter what side you're on realistically because you're already getting clowned. But you just got to be open about that and stop trying to pander or people please. It's kind of giving corny, no shade. Now, Glorilla did a TikTok video, and a lot of people are saying that she looks pregnant, okay? Now, as we know, she posted a picture and she was looking pregnant then too, but people are saying it's definitely clear after she posted a video dancing to Scratch Off's new single that is flopping on the charts, Business and Personal. So is Glorilla next in line to do a pregnancy reveal? Okay. In my opinion, like I said before, I think it would be dumb for Glorilla to get pregnant. Like, girl, your career literally just started like 3 years ago. Like, it's not like Scratch Off, who basically got in the game in 2016, and then she kind of blew up in 2021, 2022, then fell off again. But, she had that low energy song that went top 5. So Glorilla, for me, like, I know she had a top 10 song. Has she ever had like a top 3 on the Hot 100 or, top 5 song like Scratch Off? And even if she has, the point of the matter is you just got in the game. That's the point. Like, I'm like, damn, everybody getting knocked up and their careers are not where it should be. I feel like Glorilla, she should have waited because it's not like you have a fan base. Fans are fickle. And just how, like, people are riding for you now, once you do that pregnancy reveal, they're going to be dragging you like they dragged Scratch Off and how they dragged Cardi B. Okay? The only reason why people still care about Cardi B is because Nicki Minaj has given her so much attention. Not as of recently, but, they did go back and forth for, like, 2 weeks last year. And people low-key still talking about that. So, the point of the matter is, you bitches don't have the fan base or the general public don't care, okay? So y'all don't need to be getting pregnant. And it hasn't really worked for a lot of these people except Cardi B. But other than that, it really hasn't worked for anybody else. Musty Walker flopping, Flo Milli flopping, Scratch Off flopping. I don't get it. Now, moving on from that, SZA's SOS is now eligible for Diamond in the U.S. for selling over 10 million total units in the country. Congratulations to SZA. SOS is a classic. CTRL is also a classic. So honestly, I'm not shocked, and hopefully she can keep up the momentum, and her third studio album that she's working on currently could be a classic as well. Okay, because one thing about SZA when it comes to them albums, she just don't miss. She just don't. So congratulations to SZA. I got some very hot tea on Patreon on Selena, Blake Lively, 50 Cent, Justin, and Usher. What's going on behind the scenes with them on Patreon. Link would be in the description. I hope you guys have a great day.